What's shaking YouTube? 2016 has been a pretty amazing year as far as comic book movies go. Between Deadpool, Captain America Civil War, and even Suicide Squad, which had mixed reviews, but still, lots of great movies that came out for comic book fans in 2016. And 2017 is shaping up to be another great year. So here's my personal list of my top 10 most anticipated comic book movies of 2017. Now, I am going to first start off this list with an honorable mention. It did not make my list, but it is worth noting that there's going to be a Batman Cape Crusaders 2, which is a animated movie, DC Batman, but is based off of the Adam West and the Burt Ward and the Julie Newmar characters. That they're voicing those characters. The first movie came out in 2016, about a month or two ago, and it looks awesome. I personally haven't seen it, but come on, it's Adam West as Batman. It's just classic good fun. It went direct to DVD, direct Blu-ray, direct digital, and I expect the same out of this sequel, but it will drop sometime in 2017. They haven't really released a trailer for it or any release date for this sequel, but it is an honorable mention. So let's get into the full list. At number 10, Logan. Okay, so as far as the Wolverine movies go, this one's definitely going to be the best one out of the Wolverine movies, and again, it's not saying much about the other ones, and that's actually one of the reasons why I put this at number 10 and not any higher. I love the X-Men with a passion. However, the Wolverine movies have left a lot to be desired. And this movie, although looks incredible, the trailer looks amazing, I don't want to get my hopes up too high. This one is supposedly based on the Old Man Logan story from the comics, but honestly, looking at the trailer a little bit more in depth, I think they're just borrowing the name and not really borrowing the story. Don't get me wrong, it's got X-23. It's got Donald Pierce, Hugh Jackman is back, Patrick Stewart's there. That's great and all. I do want to see this movie, and it could very well be the Deadpool movie of 2017, meaning it could be the movie that looks good and people go see, but comes out a little bit better or a lot better than people anticipated. Now, I thought Deadpool was going to be a great movie, but most people didn't think it was going to be one of the better movies of the year. Logan has a chance for that, but I don't want to get my hopes up too high. Coming in at number 9 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, once again, I love the first Guardians movie. It was great. Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, and David Bautista, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper. I mean, like, come on, like, it's such a great cast. It was such a funny movie, a really great story, very, very upbeat in a different direction for Marvel. It proved that Marvel can take a franchise that nearly no one heard of, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and put it as a blockbuster AAA movie, and people went to go see it. My problems with Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is not really that I have a problem, it's just more of a fear. The sophomore slump might set in, and I'm just kind of feeling that there's a chance that we might get the same movie recycled into Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It's just a fear. I don't necessarily say it's going to be a bad movie. I think it's going to be a good movie. It's just, is it going to be better than the first? Is it going to feel different than the first? I want it to feel the same but have a different experience, and that's what you want out of most sequels. You go back to sequels because you want the same thing you got the first time around, but you don't want the exact same thing. And I'm hoping that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 will avoid the same plot threads and the same sort of feel of the first movie without losing on what made the first movie special. Alright guys, I'm going to cheat a little bit on this list because there are quite a few comic book movies coming out in 2017, but not quite that many to make a top 10 list. So I'm going to cheat a little bit, and with number 8 is going to be the Inhumans movie, which is not really a movie. Keep in mind that the Inhumans were supposed to have a movie come out in 2019, but late last year, or late in 2016 I should say, The news broke out that they were going to move the Inhumans to become a TV show on ABC, and the first two episodes will be aired in IMAX theaters coming in early September. So it's going to get the IMAX treatment. It's going to basically be a movie. You go to the movie theater to watch it. So that's why it's on this list. And I put it up a little higher. I actually am a little bit more excited for this movie, but because it's kind of not really a movie, that's why I have it at 8. I'm excited for Black Bolt. I want to see Medusa. I'm actually highly anticipating this series, this show, and I hope that it's going to be a great show because it's going to be on ABC. It's going to be with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's going to be all of that stuff that what we could possibly or were supposed to get in the movies, we're going to get it on TV. But first it's going to be in IMAX. And IMAX is awesome. Alright, back to comic book franchises for the most part. Number 7 is the Lego Batman movie. So it is, Batman, it's comic books, but it's the Lego treatment, and Lego can't do wrong for the most part. Now, I haven't seen the Lego movie, so slap my wrists and go ahead and make fun of me in the comments, but I have not seen that movie. But I am definitely going to go see Lego Batman. It looks hilarious, and we got Will Arnett voicing Batman. Just look at the trailer, the way it just presented. It just looks like it's going to be nothing but fun. It's not taking itself too serious, and that is exactly what you expect out of a comic book movie. You don't want everything to be dark and brooding. You don't want everything to be such a serious and reflecting on life type of movie. You go to movies to have fun and go to read comic books to have fun. And this movie looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. At number 6 is Thor Ragnarok. Now, it's a little too early. The movie's not coming out until November, so we don't have a trailer to show specifically for Thor Ragnarok. But in general, the movie is gonna be pretty good, and it's much like the Wolverine movies. The first two Thor movies leave a lot to be desired, though I would rather watch the Thor movies over the Wolverine movies, but I digress. The first two Thor movies left a lot to be desired, and this one is going to give you a whole lot more than what we got in the prior movies. First off, it's going to have Hulk in it. It's going to be World War Hulk. He's going to be in all of this Hulk, World War Hulk garb and all of that stuff. He's gonna be busting some heads in this movie, and that is gonna be great. So we out, that's what this trailer is about, is what Thor's been doing, why he wasn't in Civil War, why Hulk wasn't in Civil War, and so on. This movie's gonna address that. Plus, if you've seen Doctor Strange, spoiler alert, you should have stayed for those after credit scenes, but I believe Doctor Strange is going to be in this movie as well, and obviously Loki's going to be there, and we're going to get a lot of answers on what's happening on the Thor side of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Thor Ragnarok is going to be one of the last movies that lead into Avengers Infinity War, so it's gonna have a whole lot of story and exposition to get us prepped for Avengers Infinity War. It's Ragnarok. Something's gonna happen, and this is very much gonna influence the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward. It's gonna be a very significant movie, so make sure you're there November 3rd to check out Thor Ragnarok. At number 5, again, cheating kind of a little bit. It's a manga, is Ghost in the Shell. It's a manga and then also adapted to anime, starring Scarlett Johansson as Major, and I can't wait to see this movie because it looks fantastic. It looks very stylized because they're trying to honor that was all the scenes and all of the moments from the anime, from the manga. So it's going to be really pretty. It's going to have a whole lot of gunplay. It's going to have a whole lot of action. It's going to have a whole lot of weird stuff, but it's going to be really freaking cool because just based off the trailer alone, they're paying a whole lot of love to the original source material. Also, this, guys, I hate to break it to you, girls, I hate to break it to you, this is probably going to be the closest thing that we're going to get to a Black Widow movie. So make sure you go out and support Scarlett Johansson, support Ghost in the Shell, because We need more movies like this, more female led movies. And I know there's a whole lot of controversy surrounding the production and the casting in particular for Ghost in the Shell, but a lot of that went quiet once this trailer dropped. Oh boy, this trailer. At number four, speaking of female led movies, is Wonder Woman. I really am excited for this Gal Gadot Wonder Woman movie because it's going to be, again, another female led movie. It's the first one for DC Comics. It's pretty much the first one out of the main modern comic book movies to get the female led movie. And who else better than Wonder Woman? Like, what more could you ask for? It's got tons of action. Gal Gadot looks amazing in the costume. It's going to take place both in present day and in the past, mostly in the past, but for the most part, it is before Batman v Superman and all of that, and is going to take place before the Justice League movie comes out, which is our number three movie of 2017, the Justice League. Now, with Justice League, I would honestly think that Justice League has a chance to become the highest grossing movie of 2017. The only things that I see going higher than that is our number one entry, which I will save for later, and our number two entry, which I will save for later. Those are the ones that I think that have a good chance to outgross Justice League. I think a lot of people really want to see this movie, and the only reason why I didn't put it up higher is just a little trepidation on the whole Zack Snyder film style and storytelling. Because sure, Man of Steel was a good movie, not great. Batman v Superman was a good movie, not great. And I know a lot of people have mixed feelings on that. Some people think it's awful. I think it was good. Just I wanted more. And again, this is more Zack Snyder. I know that he's taken a lot of that criticism and changed things around and made Justice League a little bit different than he might have originally. So I do have high expectations for this movie, but not as high as I would have if the other movies were as great as they could have been. Still, Flash, Cyborg, Batman, Superman, hopefully later on, Wonder Woman, and more. It's just going to be a great time, and I know a lot of DC fans are going to love this movie regardless of what happens in it. Okay, number two, I'm going to cheat one more time. Now, technically, no, it wasn't inspired by comics, but there are technically Marvel comics that are Star Wars, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw it on this list. Besides, I know most comic book fans are Star Wars fans anyway, or maybe Star Trek, but I think you can give me the benefit of the doubt by throwing Star Wars Episode 8 at number 2. Now, Episode 7 left us off on a pretty decent cliffhanger about Rey and about Luke Skywalker, but we got Daisy Ridley coming back, we got John Boyega coming back, we got Mark Hamill, we got, hopefully, keep your prayers for Carrie Fisher intact. Make sure that she's okay. But we got all of this stuff building up, and plus the success of Star Wars Rogue One, which was expected, but not quite this expected that it would do so well as how great it looked. I saw it in IMAX, and it was a gorgeous movie. The last 30 minutes of Rogue One was absolutely incredible, and I very strongly hope that Episode 8 can match its intensity. Rogue One was probably the most serious and the most dramatic of all the Star Wars movies, and I hope that Episode 8 can match its seriousness, match that tone, match the fighting, the space fights, between the X-Wings and the TIE fighters. All of that stuff in Rogue One was so fantastic. I hope that Episode 8 can do the same thing, as well as progress a story with Kylo Ren, with Rey, with Luke Skywalker, and wherever they intend to go with the franchise. Please, Disney, Lucasfilms, make Episode 8 great. And lastly, at number 1 is SpiderMan Homecoming. Now, again, I could kind of see a list where anyone, and honestly, if you guys have your own opinions on your list, make sure you leave comments below of what you would have put number one. But I could see Spider-Man being number three, or Justice League number one, and Star Wars number one, or whatever on many people's lists. But Spider-Man, this is just like a culmination of so much between the Sony films with Tobey Maguire and the other Sony films with Andrew Garfield, and people have been wanting more and more Spider-Man and more out of the character. And now we're finally getting it. Marvel has control of it, or Marvel has a say in it, I should say, and we have actual Peter Parker in high school, and he is actually a young man and not a 30-year-old man playing a high schooler, and it's that's all of that's significant. Plus, he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's playing with the big boys. He's with Iron Man. He's hanging out with Ant Man or fighting Ant Man, and so on. All of this is like one of the most significant movies of the Marvel and of all comic book movies, really. That's why I put it at number one. A lot of people, including myself, really can't wait to see this movie. Tom Holland, we trust you. Knock it out the park, kid. All right, that wraps up this list for the most anticipated comic book movies for 2017. Once again, make sure you leave a comment down below and be nice. What you think would be, or what is your most anticipated comic book movie of 2017? I would love to know what you guys think. Also, make sure you leave a like on this video. If you liked it, go ahead and thumb it down if you didn't. That way I know if you guys want more videos like this. And subscribe if you haven't already. Will be making more lists for 2017 on top of the other content that I put on this YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe for more. Once again, this is Blurdy, and I'm signing out. Peace.